So, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Genshin Impact. Und wisst ihr was, wir ändern mal das Namenskärtchen. Nicht. Wobei, doch. Ja, passt. Okay. Ach so. Ich muss da drüben hin. Okay. Oh, der ist jetzt sogar markiert.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Na, stimmt.
Plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
Die Oratrice auch?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened anyway.
Erstaunlich.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Ich denk mal nicht, dass jetzt...
I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Es ist jetzt nicht die beste Zeit, um wählerisch zu sein.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Oh. Ich hätte bisher gedacht, sie wäre eine Hydro-Charakterin, aber wie ich gerade sehe, sie ist eine Geo-Charakterin. Okay. Ich glaube, sie ist aber auch noch nicht raus, oder?
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Hmm? What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Ja,
Yes,
und?
I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have
Das-
eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Geil, wir auch.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Hm. Wahrscheinlich etwas, das die Mitglieder Spina de Russula teilen.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Das hat Paimon nicht gemeint, aber okay.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Danke. Solltest dich aber auch eine Zeit lang ausruhen.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Na, alle. Außer Linné und Lynette. Und dann wären da noch 2 weitere Personen. Das vermisste Mädchen und der Verstorbene.
The bass and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
Es gibt keinen dritten.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
Aber sie wusste nichts davon, wie der Zaubertrick funktioniert.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Das ist in Ordnung. Auch wenn du 5 gegessen hast, ist es nicht schlimm. Kein Problem, ich weiß, du isst gern Süßigkeiten.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Das ist doch nicht nötig.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Ich weiß schon, wie ich das schaffe, keine Sorge.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Möglichkeit der Beteiligung eines Dritten. Ja.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation. Why would it be him? How strict? Why would it be? Gosh, no wonder the serial disappearances never got solved. We all heard that noise. The performance would not. Well, and that there was digging a tunnel just for a magic trick? That size wouldn't have been a problem. Whoever the murderer, this rope would people needed to register and reserve a seat for the show. That Paimon doesn't get this at. This is probably.
Okay. Hier gibt es noch irgendwo ein... Können wir das noch finden oder ist es weg? Ach, die weiße Linie, die habe ich, glaube ich, noch nicht untersucht, ne? Ah,
Why would it be him?
Lenny's magic trick?
More speed.
beschädigter Zauberschrank. Ah, besonderes Seil. Das hatte ich auch schon.
More speed.
Ja, weiße Linie hatte ich. Mit Maurice hatte ich gesprochen. Ich bin mir unsicher, ob ich hier nicht noch irgendwas übersehen habe, weil zwei Sachen... Moment. Da kann ich den Tunnel betreten.
More speed.
Kleidung untersuchen. Die Lagerkisten. Nee. Das war die Fahrbahn. Ach so, das Hakenseil. Ich glaube, ich habe nichts übersehen. Dann ist da hier noch mehr. Oder geht das erst, wenn wir im Gericht sind? Das wird dann noch mal. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich spiele das hier jetzt auch alles immer blind, ne? Also. Ich bin mir gerade unsicher, ob wir hier überhaupt raus teleportieren können, aber ehrlich gesagt, ich habe auch keine Lust, das zu untersuchen.
More speed.
Naja, komm. Wir spulen jetzt einfach die Zeit vor bis 8 Uhr, ne? 8:01 Uhr. Oh. Dafür haben sie einfach mal die Bühne geändert. Ach so. Okay. Ah, da unten geht's weiter. Jetzt könnten wir hier auch sicher verlassen und so. Aber will ich ja nicht.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
Ich habe ein paar Gedanken, aber gehen wir die Dinge Schritt für Schritt an.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Okay.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Warte nur, bald wirst du es verstehen. Genau. Ich weiß schon genau, wie ich beginnen werde.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Okay.
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Linné enthüllt prägnant und aller Deutlichkeit den Trick des
Thank you, Mr.
Zaubers.
Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Wie konnte Linné den Knall nicht gehört haben?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have
heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
Obwohl,
By the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
sie präsentiert vermutlich die Haltung der Oratress. Okay, also als Richter der Fandas... Warte! Nein, das ist ja gar nicht Neverwinter Nights 2. Lavanda kann uns hier gar nicht helfen. Und wir sind auch gar keine Richter. Oh, sorry, falsches Spiel. Dann muss ich hier wohl doch als Anwalt. Moment.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
Die beiden sind Fatui? Was ist das Haus des Kamins? Ist das jemals vorher erwähnt worden? Ich habe davon noch nie gehört. Oder wenn, dann habe ich es vergessen. Oder wurde House of the Hearth mal erwähnt und Haus des Kamins ist einfach schlecht übersetzt. Wäre ja bei den Fatui nichts Neues.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Moment mal kurz.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Linné und Lynette sind Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Ein Zauberer ist auf jeden Fall in der Lage, andere hinters Licht zu führen. Angesichts der Art und Weise, wie Linné seine Identität verborgen hat, könnte dies alles im Voraus arrangiert worden sein. Außerdem ist der Graf zusammen mit anderen Mitarbeitern des Hauses des Kamins hier in Fontaine. Sie müssen irgendwas geplant haben. Moment. Meinen Sie die 11 der Fatui? Gott! Hat man jetzt einfach die... Mann, ey. Wobei, der Graf ist doch zusammen von der Nordbank hier. Oder Bank des Nordens. Ich bin verwirrt. Kann sein, dass ich hier irgendwie irgendwas vergesse. Aber was Was ist hier los? Ja, ich bin gerade ein bisschen am Resignieren. Ich wurde schon früher von den Fatui getäuscht und jetzt...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
Moment kurz, mir fällt gerade ein, die ganzen Leute im Publikum wissen von den Fatui, wissen was, oder haben eine Ahnung von dem, was sie gemacht haben, aber niemand kennt die Reisende außer Furina? Oder wie darf ich das verstehen? Nee, das kann doch auch nicht sein, oder? Oh je, ich hinterfrag zu viel in diesem Spiel, oder?
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Herr Richter, darf ich etwas sagen? Ich verlange das Recht auf ein Gottesurteil. Warte. Nein, so schlimm sieht es noch gar nicht aus und wir sind ja auch nicht in der Neverwinter Nights 2. Hier gibt es auch wahrscheinlich gar kein Gottesurteil. Immerhin sind wir in... Nein, Moment. Gottesurteile wurden ja schon eingeführt, dann geht das ja doch. Und es ist nicht mal ein Duel before the throne, wie in Inazuma. Das heißt, man kann es sogar überleben. Wupp, wupp. Lass uns das machen, dann können wir das Ganze deutlich abkürzen. Moment, dürfen wir einen Champion auswählen, der für uns in den Ring steigt? Dann will ich nämlich Range Rune. Wobei, nein, vergiss das. Die könnte sich denken, ich besiege dich und dann werde ich dich töten. Ich meine, es ist ein Duel before the throne. Es ist zwar nicht mein Thron, aber der des Hydro-Arkons. Das geht für mich klar. Oh Gott, ey. Ich zerdenke das hier wirklich viel zu viel, oder? Oh Mann. Und ja, ich bin irgendwie so inzwischen dem Moment, wenn es irgendein Problem gibt, geh einfach zu Ei und sag ihr, löst das mal für uns. Ich meine, momentan ist von dem, was wir an bisherigen Charakter gesehen haben, lore-wise Ai die bei weitem stärkste Person in Taiwan. Also normalerweise würde ich sagen sie oder Rex Lapis, aber Rex Lapis hat in der Form von Zhongli ja einen Großteil seiner Macht eingebüßt. Ich meine, das ist ja auch was, warum er diesen Vertrag, der alle Verträge beendet hat, überhaupt eingegangen ist. Eben um sicher einen großen Teil seiner Macht einzubüßen und ein Leben als, ja, ich sag mal, Sterblicher zu führen, auch wenn er unsterblich ist, aber ohne dass es Liwe wirklich schaden würde. Also mehr oder weniger nicht schaden würde, aber ihr versteht, was ich meine. Trotzdem, als Zhongli hätte er gegen Ai keine Chance. Ich glaube, da brauchen wir nicht groß drüber zu reden. Ja. Mein Mandant hat einige wichtige Informationen zurückgehalten. Meine Verteidigung kann nicht fortgesetzt werden. What? What? Girl! Jetzt bin ich gerade echt schockiert. Also, normalerweise machen die Reisenden ja jeden Scheiß mit. Aber dass die wirklich mal sagen, nope, I'm out of here. Verdammt, wer hat den Intelligenzbuff gegeben? Vor allem nach diesem massiven Debuff, den wir aus Sumeru kennen.
In that case, what is your request?
Ich bitte um eine kurze Vertagung. Es gibt Dinge, die wir besprechen müssen.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Ja, während die Verhandlung vertagt wird, trefft ihr euch mit Linney und Lynette hinter der Bühne des Opernhauses.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Ja.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Was sagt uns, dass dies nicht nur eine weitere Lüge ist?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Na, dann erkläre ich mir zunächst was anderes. Wo warst du, als der Zauber vorgeführt wurde?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Also wurde dieser ganze Raum, wurde all das wirklich nur für diesen einen Trick geschaffen. Das ist... ja. Okay. Und was hast du herausgefunden?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Mhm.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Ja. Warum wolltet ihr herausfinden, wie die Oratrice funktioniert?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Ich glaube an Fakten. Wenn du nicht der Täter bist, werde ich dich weiterhin verteidigen. Wenn du das Verbrechen begangen hast, wird dich eine Verurteilung erwarten.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Tatsächlich haben wir bereits die entscheidenden Beweise in unseren Händen.
Huh?
Die Vertagung ist fast vorbei. Lasst uns zurückgehen.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lynés Aussage: Nachdem Lyné den Tunnel betreten hat, gelangte er durch die Luftöffnung in den Raum, in dem der Oratrice-Kern aufbewahrt wurde. Daher wurde er auch nicht Zeuge dessen, was im Tunnel vorfiel, und konnte folglich auch nicht den dumpfen Knall hören. Stimme in der Oratrice-Kernkammer. Da fehlt uns immer noch eine Sache. Ich habe übrigens mal jetzt zwischenzeitlich geschaut, was das House of the Hearth ist. Das ist ein... hier ist wirklich nichts, okay. Das ist ein Waisenhaus, das es in Schniznaja und in Fontaine gibt. Oder das es in Fontaine gibt, aber von Schniznaja geführt wird. Und ja, die dortigen Kinder kriegen eine formidable Ausbildung und sollen am besten später mal auch Teil der Fatui werden. Sehr gerne auch in einer höheren Position. Ja. Eine der 11 der Fatui, von der wissen wir auch schon, also kanonisch, dass sie aus diesem Waisenhaus kommt. Aber wir haben sie in der Story noch nicht getroffen. Ich habe mich da schon quasi jetzt spoilern lassen, als ich das nachgeschaut habe. Aber das werden wir sicherlich auch noch erleben. Jetzt allerdings werde ich mich erstmal verabschieden. Wir nutzen diese Vertagung und werden uns nachher wieder zusammenfinden. Ich habe gesprochen. Gruß, Synos Fan.